We're out at the 2-minute mark. All right. We'll go to questions now, 90-second answers, and we'll start, Leslie will start off by answering this question, and then David, and then Patricia. 90 seconds. Here's the question. Leslie, can you talk about the Stand Your Ground law, and does it apply, in your estimation, in Arkansas?
Dave, in Arkansas, and I know this from having been a prosecutor and the only person running on the Republican side that has been a prosecutor and dealt with this, that we recently extended the Stand Your Ground or defense of the home to the curtilage, which is basically to the sidewalk. And so, I would support a Stand Your Ground law in Arkansas. I am not going to have a legislative package to, stand in the stead of the legislators like some other folks. David Sterling in particular is one to stand in the stead of legislators. I'm not going to do that. I will support our individuals' right to protect themselves and protect their homes. And so when it comes to Stand Your Ground, the ability to bear arms, I will 100% back that up. And having been a prosecutor, I understand what that means.
Okay. Okay. Turn over to you, David.
Thank you, Dave. I am the only candidate that has openly come out and in support of a Stand Your Ground law here in the state of Arkansas. And I won't back down from that either. The Attorney General can offer some leadership to folks on the legislative side. And it's not uncommon whatsoever. I think every legislative session, the Attorney General's office comes out with a legislative package that he seeks support for in the legislature. And a Stand Your Ground law is something that I'm going to propose in my initial legislative package and ask the legislature to consider. Obviously, I'm not in the legislature. I'm not going to be in the legislature if I'm elected Attorney General, and I understand the difference. However, there are 26 other states with a Stand Your Ground law here in the state of, in this country. And Arkansas is the only southern state without a Stand Your Ground law. And I think that, when it comes to somebody that's in a place where they're legally entitled to be, whether it's on their property or on their curtilage or in another place where they're legally entitled to be, and they're confronted with a situation where they're threatened with imminent bodily harm or death, that the duty to retreat should be on the criminal, not on the law-abiding citizen that's in a place where they're legally entitled to be. And I think that Arkansas needs to join all the other southern states and have a Stand Your Ground law here in the state of Arkansas. And that's why I'm proposing that in my first legislative package.
Okay. Let's move over to Patricia Nation. And Patricia, your answer.
Dave, I would definitely support a Stand Your Ground law, and that's because I believe that this is all about self-defense, and we're talking about putting guns in the hands of responsible persons who have the right to self-preservation. And this right is a fundamental right. It's a natural right that is protected under the Second Amendment of the Constitution. And not only that, but the Supreme Court has also held that this is a fundamental right of self-defense. And it's one of the priorities that as Attorney General, I would be interested in protecting and supporting any legislation that supports the Second Amendment right. And when you look at the gun laws across the state, there are 2 states that completely prohibit carrying altogether. And those 2 states are Illinois and also the District of Columbia. And in those 2 states, we have the highest crime rates. And so there is no correlation between putting the guns in the hands of lawful citizens and crime. And a lot of times that's how the media will spin this, that this is going to look like a wild, wild west. And it's totally opposite. When you put guns in the hands of law-abiding citizens, that is a good thing in any state.
Okay.